So today's big question is dating someone who is divorced a red flag? Today I'll be discussing this topic that scares a lot of people from leaving a toxic relationship or going into the next one. My name is Joan Nwosu, and welcome to the Second Chances podcast, a love journey in black and white. So the answer to the question is yes and no. Whether or not someone's divorce is considered a red flag is dependent on quite a lot of factors. But first, I want to talk about the divorce and the stigma around being divorced. Divorce is not an easy action to take. It's not an easy step, regardless of what people might say, right? So for someone to decide that a marriage is over, it's a big decision. And there's a reason why there's a lot of divorce going on in the world. And whether you like it or not, if you're going into the dating pool and you're over a certain age, the chances are you're going to meet someone who is divorced. So I think it's important for you to understand and appreciate what being divorced means and how you can navigate whether or not you choose to date someone who is divorced or not. So now that we've talked about divorce and how divorce is here to stay, and really understanding that a lot of divorce happens not because people are just selfish or they're just being materialistic, but a lot of divorces happen because of mutual incompatibility, personal growth. People have grown in separate ways. People no longer have aligned values. Sometimes it could be external pressures, or it could just be unforeseen circumstances, especially for people who got married at a very young age. Life does happen to us all. So when you're thinking about dating someone who is divorced, some of the things that you should think about or consider are, why did they get divorced in the first place? What was the reason for the divorce? Right? Are they carrying on any emotional baggage? How do they talk about their ex-partner? Do they speak in a negative way? Do they have a relationship with that person? Are they using their kids as a weapon to punish the other partner? How is their relationship with their ex? Look, you don't have to be BFFs with your ex, but if there's hatred in between both of them, then maybe that's a red flag, a sign that maybe something is up with your partner as well, because it does take two. Some of the things that you might want to consider is the dynamics of a blended family. So if you have kids or they have kids, what is that going to look like? Blending a family is not an easy feat at all. Trust me, I've tried it. I've been there. Not easy at all. So you have to be aware of how this person will be or how you are with somebody else coming into your life and the life of your kids. Another thing you might want to consider is financial complications. A lot of divorced people, especially when they have kids, may have to pay spousal support. They might have to pay child support. They might have a lot of debt incurred from their previous marriage. So the financial status of this person might be something that you want to consider as well. So I think it's not a one size fits all. It is you just have to be able to have the right conversations. Be ready to open up about divorce and talk about the implications, how it's impacted you, what you've learned on your journey, where you are now. Be honest with yourself. Where you are you still in the healing phase, the angry phase, or have you let go and you're ready to move on with your life? And you should be seeking that clarity in the potential partner as well. So it's very, very important that, look, you use divorce as a learning curve. It is not I failed. It is a relationship ended. Why did it end? What can I learn from that? What did it teach me about myself? People keep thinking that marriages or unions or relationship is for you to just come and have fun. No, it is here to stretch you, to grow you, to challenge you, to push you towards becoming that which you were supposed to be, the best version of yourself. So understand that, yes, we may have made wrong choices. We may have been incompatible, but there was something about that marriage or relationship that you were supposed to learn from. So have you learned the lesson? Are you able to now decipher who you are, what it is that you want, what are the things that you don't want, what are your boundaries, and be able to communicate that with your potential future partner, or if you're dealing with somebody who is divorced, making sure that both of you are aligned and can have those conversations. So if you're a single person, never been married, and now you're trying to date a divorced person, Be patient. Have some empathy. Divorce is not easy. I can tell you that it is not easy. A lot of people who've been through divorce struggle with trusting again, being vulnerable, opening themselves up to that sort of relationship that they did initially. There's a lot of trauma associated with divorce. So be patient, right? Know that, yes, they want to move forward, but it's not necessarily always easy, depending on the level of trauma that they went through. So again, back to the question, is divorce a red flag? The answer still remains, sometimes it's a yes if they haven't healed from it, if they haven't learned their lesson, if they're still in a toxic relationship with their ex, there's still so much anger and hate, there's still so much closure that needs to happen. They're not an open book, they're not opening their heart up. But it's a no if the person has moved on, if the person has learned, if the relationship ended, the marriage ended because they were not compatible, if the person has grown, if the person is constantly working on themselves to be a better person. So please do not use divorce as to judge a person's character. It doesn't define who the person is, or it doesn't define who you are. You wouldn't want to be judged because you're divorced. It is something that has happened and is not an automatic red flag. No, it is something that happened to you, and now it is time to move on and to use that as a learning to move forward and do better in life. Treat everyone as an individual and don't judge them or sum them up based on the fact that they were married and now divorced. So let me know what your thoughts are. And thank you for listening to today's episode on the Second Chances podcast, a love journey in black and white. Till next time, sending you love and light.